Thank you for tuning in to any of our videos. We also want to just ask your forgiveness if anything in this comes off offensive or abrasive. It is not our intent to cause division. What we would like you to do is enter into just a relationship as a believer with us, knowing that we're as much of a work in progress as you are, and that you would continue to pray for Nehemiah Abilene. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. We think because our flesh, listen, do you think going to the cross was evil? It brought peace upon the world for all time and all generations. I can't understand the mind of God. I can't understand that. Now that I know what love is, listen, now that I truly know what love is, because before, look, it's easy to say, I go and do that, right? I could go and die, right? I was in the military, I signed up for it. I couldn't go and die with my mouth shut. Does that make sense? I'll go die, but I'm going to die fighting. A little anyway. Or at least talking some shit. You know what I mean? Like, y'all really understand what I'm saying? But now that I have that little girl, Olivia, where I've had a breakthrough in love, that I've never experienced love for a human being like I have for this little 3-year-old girl. And I felt guilty when I told my wife that. But I really haven't. I've never allowed somebody into that place. And that goes back to me being a small child. I've never allowed somebody in that place. And now that she is, I'd kill every one of you fucking dead before I'd let her die. Let me just be absolutely transparent. I'd like to say some real Christian stuff. And I love y'all. Look, but I'd look y'all in the eye, and my hope would be that you would take it. You know what I'm saying? Because my hope is that you would, but it wouldn't matter to me whether you would or not. So I can jump on some churchy stuff and say that I would or that I would sin, but there's no way. I can't even fathom it. And his love, that love can't even fathom his love. That place of love can't even fathom. I know that, man, that's wrong. Some people may just be, don't get ugly because I kill you, Oscar. You know what I'm saying? I love you, bro. But I just try to be real honest and assess myself every once in a while because I want to grow. I want to grow to look like him, but I've had this new breakthrough, and it's a place where I didn't know that I was always afraid to let anyone in there. And now she's passed this barrier, this boundary that I've had my entire life to where I can be hurt. And I'm having to surrender that to God. I don't know how to identify that in my belief. I don't know how to identify man, there's some scary thoughts that go in there, and I just have to resurrender that, right? Because now, listen, I trip out when my wife tries to give her wieners. I'm like, you know how many little kids choke on wieners? And I'm tripping over stuff I've never even thought about. And that's Jesus in me. That's how he feels. That thought of peace, magnify what I just explained about that little girl times infinity and God's own value, which we can't even imagine. And that's the peace that he has intended for us. Because that's what he did on the cross. That peace, that thought of peace that's it. Man, I can't even imagine it. I'm like, it ain't magic sauce. It's going to get hard, but it's going to be worth it. The scariest thing that's happened to me on this side is that breakthrough that I have with this 3-year-old little girl. I love her more than anything in this world, and I've never allowed anybody into that place, and it's the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to me. That's my truth. It is the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to me in my life. But it's a place where God was drawing me into being his son. And listen, I believe in that he's going to magnify my ability to love all of humanity because he wants me to have that for everyone, and that's scary.